my god, just jump right into the episodes, please. I don't care about this. Yeah, this must have been really jarring for kids in 2004 watching Thomas. Like, you go from New Friends for Thomas, which is pretty normal, I guess, at least in the format. It's still in that classic format. And then you go to this DVD, which just has a radically different format to everything that came before this. And we start out strong with a good episode. So, I am convinced that this was the first episode Michael Brandon narrated. He's noticeably really calm. Like, even some of the line readings just sound like a first attempt. Like, I don't know, like, it feels like that they just had him do this episode first. Like, does anyone else feel that way? Cause I certainly feel that way. Like, listen to the way that Brandon reads some of the lines in the episode.
Cinders and ashes, spluttered Thomas.
Yeah, see, like, in other episodes, he has a lot more energy in lines like that.
Bust my buffers, Percy cried. What was that? Cinders and ashes, cried Thomas. We're stuck. What if Diesel is right, Thomas said sadly. What if Sir Topham Hatt scraps all of us? Thomas was worried.
I legitimately got chills from that. I'm not kidding. How did they accomplish that? Like, what did they use for the black smoke?
Mavis started billowing smoke too. Soon all the other Diesels had broken down. Ari, Bert, and even Salty had ground to a halt.
Yeah, cause, last time I checked, there were totally only 5 Diesels on the island. What about Rusty? What about Boko? What about Rusty? Obviously, that doesn't really change anything. Just thought I should bring it up, cause why not?
Thomas pushed with all his might. His pistons creaked and his wheels squeaked, but he kept on puffing.
I really like that line delivery. Wait, why is, like, one of Percy's driver and fireman in the back, like, one of them is smiling and the other's just, like, scared. Like, he's just shocked with what's going on. And, ew, what is that Diesel face? It looks so weird. That was a very smart choice to make that the first episode on the DVD.
There are many different engines on Sir Topham Hatt's railway.
Oh, that's weird. I don't remember there being music in this learning segment, or at least at the beginning.
When he puffs along, he sounds very different.
Yeah, like, it's just ambient sounds, no music. I mean, I guess this learning segment is sort of related to the theme. This might as well just be an ASMR learning segment. just an excuse to just to show off all the sounds that they got. Which, I'm not complaining. I like it. Oh my god, that stop sound effect. Those sound effects when Thomas and Mavis stopped, I swear, like, those exact sounds were used in Diesel D199's videos. You know, back when he used models instead of CGI. Okay. Wait, why is this episode on here? This has nothing to do with the theme. Like, isn't it supposed to be Steamies versus Diesels? What does this episode have to do with that? And I just noticed a signal on the left there.
He loved the peace and quiet.
Peace and quiet? He enjoys the peace and quiet? Reminds me of another character. It was like he was introduced in the last season or something.
Keep your smelly freight away from my passengers, grumbled Gordon. But it's only logs, chuffed Henry.
Exactly! I was just about to say that. And Henry just spoke for me.
I'd like to pull passengers, sighed Henry. Just for a change.
But you have. Bulgy rides again. You pulled coaches in that episode. And you've pulled coaches several times before that. What do you mean? Ugh! It's that Henry face again. I already commented on it in the last video, so I won't say it again, but I really hate that Henry face. It looks so bad. It's so weird. And I feel like that, oh my god, stop using that face. Why are there just random wheels there?
I wish I wish I could pull the express instead of Gordon, he said.
But you have pulled the express.
That evening.
Ugh, stop using that face, it's so weird. Also, I really hate the 4x3 crops for the season 8 episodes.
And pulled out of the station, but Henry puffed too quickly.
Really? I mean, he looked like he started out at a pretty normal speed, and trains usually start very slowly, so...
Pulling passengers is a grand job, he said.
Yeah, James will be the first to tell you that.
Gordon was in the repair yard. He was being fitted with a new boiler.
Which is apparently right next to Tidmouth Sheds. And he's being fitted with a new boiler?
But Gordon felt lonely.
Lonely? You got the workman right there to talk to. What do you mean?
They were having the
What is happening? And ew, that face even that face looks weird too. They changed the eyebrows on that or something. It looks so weird. Like ew. Also, yeah, you can see the word buffet written on the coach.
The dining car so hard everything flew into the air.
Now that is a very cool shot.
There were more complaints than ever.
There was no one even in the coach.
Henry couldn't remember which tree was the wishing tree.
What are you talking about? Like, it's right there. It's literally right there. You're right there. It's right there. You're right there. The wishing tree is right there.
Sir Topham Hatt arrived on board Thomas.
Yeah, he just conveniently is on board Thomas for no reason. And then Thomas's driver, like, he's just happy about what's going on. Also, you didn't think to tell Henry about that before? Like, why did you wait to tell him now? And look, there's the storyteller, and Bridget Hatt.
Henry wished he would never have to pull passengers ever again. Just in case.
Okay, two things. One, that doesn't even matter because Henry's seen pulling coaches in other episodes in the same season. And two, that ending music cue was reused in What's the Matter with Henry.
Back in the peace and quiet of the forest. At the end of the day, he stopped near the wishing tree. And even though Sir Topham Hatt had told him trees don't run... Look at my brakes, my gauges, my squeaky wheels. Emily smiled. All in good time, Henry. Poor Henry.
Yeah, imagine if the model crew just made a track layout exactly like this. And he should have derailed. Yeah, those curves are too tight. James would have derailed. And why is there, like, JPEGs of people inside the coaches? I might have commented on this in the Sodor Celebration video, maybe, because I think there was a learning segment there, too, where I think that, like, to just Photoshop people into the coaches, maybe, I don't know. Also, why are the buffers in the back like the same wall stripes as Mavis's front instead of just the regular colored buffers that we're used to? Oh no! Oh my god, no! Ew. Yeah, speaking of bad, yeah, you see like how they just poorly photoshopped the driver's mouth? Oh my god, Siri. Hey look, Henry's pulling coaches. Like, that's the exact shot I was just talking about. Yeah. Ugh. God, stretched footage. Ew. I was gonna comment on that other shot about how they basically just desaturated it. And, oh, again, another poorly edited mouth. Hey look, Series 7 footage. And then that was James the Really Splendid Engine footage. Oh, this episode. Everyone loves this one, for some reason, but, you know, it's been a while since I've seen this one, so maybe I'll feel different at the end. Why was Diesel even sitting there in the first place? Like, what was he doing? And why is Gordon collecting passengers at Brendam Docks? I think this is the first fisheye lens shot in this video, which is really kind of crazy because I feel like that we would have seen those shots a lot earlier. Maybe I missed one. Actually, I did. In the song. Also, how is Gordon slowing down on the hill and not getting stuck? That makes no sense. If you go this slowly with the express, you're just gonna end up getting stuck. Also, I think the narrator said that Gordon was going back to Tidmouth Sheds, even though it's in the complete opposite direction of where Gordon's going.
Oh dear, he cried. Diesel was right. I'm falling apart. What will Sir Topham Hatt say?
Wait a minute, where were you? Okay, so that previous scene that we just saw kind of implied that Gordon had already picked up the passengers, but like, where was he? I don't know, like, I guess the writers just didn't care. And there was Bridget Hattigan on the right. And why is Gordon's driver so tall he was literally hitting the cab roof? And why is Gordon not taking the express? Like, couldn't Sir Topham Hatt have asked another engine to do this? And why is he riding in the cab? Like, why don't you ride in one of the coaches?
And that will never do! Yes, sir, said Gordon sadly.
This is so ridiculous. Like, Gordon should already know this. I'll talk more about this later. This is a cool shot. I like this shot. That's cool.
And then he heard another noise. A knocking noise.
Where is that knocking sound coming from? The squeak and rattle, I could definitely see it like from the side rods or something, but what about the knocking noise? Like, where is that coming from? Ugh. I really don't like that Gordon face. Like, what is that expression even meant to be? And wait, there's Stephen Hatt. Like, why is he there?
The repair yard, gasped Gordon.
Wait, hold on. He was just at the repair yard in the last episode.
So you're not going to scrap me? Asked Gordon. Scrap Gordon?
Insert face-palming moment.
Who would pull the express?
Henry, James, Boko. Okay, I mean, I guess that was alright, but it's nothing special.
Every engine on the island of Sodor looks different.
Okay.
Can you tell who this is?
Emily.
This engine is dark green.
Emily.
It's only got a small roof on the cab.
Emily.
But it's got a very tall funnel.
Emily.
Do you know who it is yet?
Emily.
Here's another clue. This engine's got very big wheels.
Emily.
There's only one engine on Sodor who has wheels like that.
Emily.
Do you know who it is?
Steven.
Yes, it's Emily.
Ugh! What is that face? Like, that's not Emily's face. That's a pretty shot.
It was winter.
And now this looks horrible. I will say, I do really like the music here. Hey look! Henry's pulling coaches again! That was Diesel's horn. And I saw a house in the background there.
Percy took some troublesome trucks to the smelter's yard.
This isn't the smelter's yard, it's the quarry. And also, that's just a truck horn sound effect. Like from a semi-truck. And there's another house there. Oh my god, stop. And another fisheye lens. Yay! And there's the end of the set. Does anyone know, like, how they were able to make the engines shake like that? Did they have motors fixed inside them to make them shake? Yeah, so the title is basically just false advertising, because Percy doesn't actually get a new whistle. No joke, years later when I got back into the show, when I saw that title, I was legitimately interested because I assumed that Percy would get a new whistle, but he doesn't. And why was Thomas just sitting there?
Percy didn't notice. He was too busy having fun.
How did you not notice? He's right there! And hey, it's the same shot from earlier.
Puff and blew.
Imagine hearing that out of context. Like, it just sounds like, ugh. Imagine hearing that out of context. like it just sounds like Percy's getting high on something.
You made Bertie skid across the road, and my freight cars got damaged, said Thomas.
But how do you know about Bertie? You weren't even there.
I won't do it again, he wailed.
He wailed? That's not wailing.
But the next day, Percy was bringing the milk train from the dairy.
I see Daisy's left the milk again.
I wish I could have one more loud whistle, he said to himself. Percy took the biggest puff of all and blew.
I'm sorry. That's...
Trevor was so surprised his trailer bumped into a pile of
That just
logs.
sounds hilarious.
A log fell and rolled down the hill.
Okay, no,
turned to
no, this would not happen.
snow and
I'm
bigger.
calling bullshit on that. I'm sorry, no, this would not happen.
Percy-
Like, there's no way, like, Percy was that
Until
far
he saw
away
the
and Trevor
snow.
heard it that clearly.
Oh.
Back up! Move! Move! What are you doing, you idiots? And his driver was there! What? What? We're doing it again. We're actually doing it again. Where the engine's driver was there the entire time, and they chose to do nothing. Look, the drivers are either there or they're not there. Like, you can't just have them do something when the plot desires it to. But then, if Percy's driver actually did something before this, then none of this would be happening, and the episode would be over. Ugh.
He didn't use his whistle once.
Yep, I'm calling bullshit on that too. There's no way you didn't use your whistle once. Not at crossings or stations or something. Surely you passed at least one of those, right? And there's a church. Do something. Do something!
Percy took the biggest puff he had ever taken, and he blew the loudest whistle he had ever blown. Something must be wrong.
Oh my god! Thomas Terrence in the Snow reference.
Thank you, Percy!
What did he do? You didn't even notice the snowdrift until you rounded the bend. Oh, hold on. Sir Topham Hatt was wearing a scarf and a beanie earlier. Like, why isn't he wearing it now? And that's it, right? Yep, it's already over. Nope, not even gonna be listening to that. He took a big puff and he blew. So that was Steamies versus Diesels. It started out really strong and then just went out with a dud. I guess I should say that I didn't feel really enraged the same way as I did with Sodor Celebration. Because at least with this DVD, there was only one episode that really got me angry. But even then, I feel like it's not to the same degree. Because after Percy's new whistle, like, that's it. It ends. And it's like, before I can get really angry, yeah, it's over, so I don't have to endure anything bad after that. I might as well go through the episodes one by one like I usually do. Thomas to the Rescue is a very good episode, and to be honest, the only episode from Season 8 I would actually call good. Like, one that I genuinely enjoy. Like, I'm not bored, I'm not frustrated, like, I'm genuinely enjoying what I am watching. It's a little hard for me to put my finger on why, but I guess it's just a really nice character study of Thomas. I guess what I really like is that even though, like, Thomas feels inferior at the moment, like, when the diesels break down, he can actually prove that he's still indispensable regardless of being a steam engine. I just really like this episode. I don't really have... I mean, I guess I do have a couple of criticisms, but they're really just nitpicks. One of which I already mentioned was the fact that they seem to imply that there are only 5 diesels on the island, which, of course, is not true. I mean, that is, of course, very nitpicky, so, like, even if they were mentioned, it wouldn't change anything about the story. And 2 is, why is Thomas the only one delivering fuel to all the diesels? Again, I say it's very nitpicky because even if they just had Thomas deliver fuel to the quarry, since that's where he was working, it would still have the same effect. Like, it wouldn't change anything about the story. So, I'm personally okay with it. I guess another thing is that Thomas doesn't believe, oh, Sir Topham Hatt's gonna scrap me. It's kind of a what-if scenario. Like, he doesn't want to believe that would happen. It's not for very stupid reasons like, oh, Sir Topham Hatt told his driver that he's going to the scrapyard or something, but, you know, an episode like that doesn't exist. Right? I just think it's a really good episode. It was a very smart choice to have this to be the first episode on the DVD. And I guess I should also mention that for the theme of the DVD being Steamies versus Diesels, this is an episode that perfectly fits with that theme. As opposed to the next episode, Henry and the Wishing Tree. Like, what's this doing here? Like, this has nothing to do with anything. I don't know why they picked this episode. It's such a random choice. Aside from it not fitting in with the theme, what else is wrong about it? Well, the fact that they had to retcon Henry pulling coaches for the story to work. Because it's implied that Henry never pulls coaches. Ever. And he only pulls freight, which of course is bullshit because, like I said, he's seen pulling coaches in the previous seasons before this, but he's also seen pulling coaches in other episodes in this season. Like I already pointed that out with Percy's New Whistle, Henry's seen pulling coaches. And I think he's seen pulling coaches in Edward the Great and possibly other episodes. And also in Respect for Gordon in the next season, Henry is seen pulling the Express again. So it renders this entire episode pointless. Who wrote this? What? You're kidding me, right? But yeah, this episode is just really dumb. Like I already said, the writers don't even stick to this because Henry is seen pulling coaches in other episodes this same season and the next, and all future seasons, so... I mean, if I am to point out positives, which I will for, just to be fair. One, I like that one shot inside the buffet car. I already mentioned that, but I'll mention it again, because why not? That's a really cool sequence to watch. And two, I appreciate the fact that they touched on Henry's love for nature again, but I have to say that Henry and the Flagpole is better. I say that because they didn't have to retcon anything from previous episodes to make that story work. Whereas with Henry and the Wishing Tree, they have to retcon Henry not being able to handle coaches. I wouldn't necessarily call it bad, it's just really mediocre. Next episode, Squeak, Rattle, and Roll. Everyone loves this episode for some reason, and me personally, I don't get it. This episode makes no sense. I mean, because with Gordon, it doesn't make sense because in Tender Engines, when Gordon asked the Fat Controller about steam being abolished, the Fat Controller just responds saying that diesels would never take over his railway. So Gordon should already know that the Fat Controller would never scrap him. It just doesn't make any sense. And as a result of that, there's no stakes because, I don't feel really worried for Gordon. I'm just like, why are you being such an idiot? Why can't you think rationally? And you're also gonna sit here and tell me that Gordon hasn't had any issues like this in the past? Again, with the whole retconning things from previous episodes. This episode isn't egregiously bad or anything. Not at all. It's fine. I guess if I am to point out positives, one, there was that one shot I mentioned earlier. And two, when Gordon thinks that it might be his last run, he's just gonna finish the job and go out with style. And then finally, Percy's New Whistle. I'm noticing a pattern with the episodes being dumb, huh? I already mentioned how, Percy's driver is there the whole time and he doesn't do anything. So, yeah, we just kinda have to ignore that, even though I'm still marking that as a criticism. Percy has to learn to use his whistle responsibly. He didn't know this before, really? That's so dumb. And I should mention that the log turning into a snowball, that scene, I said that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so Percy is really far away when he blows his whistle. Even if Trevor did hear Percy's whistle, which he shouldn't have been able to, but if he did, it would have been very, very quiet, or at least it would have been a very quiet echo. It wouldn't have been as loud as the episode presents. That's bullshit. I'm not, no, that wouldn't happen. But thankfully, that's it. I don't have to be enraged by anything after this because that's it. And I might as well talk about the theme. What is the theme of the DVD? Well, if you read the title, it's Steamies versus Diesels. Actually, let me get the DVD real quick and I'll read the back cover to you all. So the back cover reads, "On the island of Sodor, two kinds of engines help keep Sir Topham Hatt's railway running smoothly. Steamies and Diesels. But is the island big enough for both? It's not always easy for these engines to put aside their differences and work together. See what happens when the Diesels tease Thomas. Will Thomas come to their aid when they need this really useful Steamies help? And when Gordon develops some very loud squeaks and rattles, will Sir Topham Hatt retire him to the yard for good? That's what the Diesels say. Get on board with the Steamies and the Diesels, and see how they finally learn that, from brake pipe to buffer, all engines are more alike than not." So, two things. One, this sounds like a plot synopsis for Calling All Engines before Calling All Engines existed. It's like the people that made Calling All Engines, they looked at this DVD and they were like, yeah, we'll make that the premise of the movie. And two, like, reading that description, that sounds awesome. This idea sounds good on paper, but in execution, it's not so great. I already said Thomas to the Rescue fits perfectly with the theme, and honestly is the only one that really fits. I already mentioned Henry and the Wishing Tree has nothing to do with the theme, so I don't know why that episode's on here. Squeak, Rattle, and Roll and Percy's New Whistle have very vague ideas of the theme, because it's like the Steamy and Diesel conflict kind of like kicks off the plot, but it's not the main focus of the plot. And it's just kind of like when you're like 3/4 of the way through the episode, you just kind of forget that the Diesels were even in the episodes. So, a criticism that I've seen with this DVD is the fact that it only has 4 episodes, as opposed to the usual 6 at the time. And yeah, it is a little weird to only have 4 episodes as opposed to 6. And it's also weird because the UK equivalent of this DVD, All Aboard with the Steam Team, features 2 additional episodes that were put on songs from the station in the US. So, like, yeah, the UK DVD features 6 episodes, so why doesn't the US one feature 6? Although, to be honest, I feel like the fact this only has 4 episodes is a big benefit in a way. Because one of my criticisms with Sodor Celebration was the fact that the episodes are just too long. Like, it just feels drawn out. Not helping was the learning segments, which I'll come back to that in a moment. You know, because, yeah, with that DVD, most of the episodes were garbage and were just hard. Like, it was just agony to sit through for me. And then you had the learning segments, which didn't help. Like, in my opinion, this is the least worst Season 8 DVD in the States. Like, this is the best one. I'm not saying it's good, because it's not, but it's definitely more watchable than the other 4, and the only one that I really ever desire to rewatch should I choose to watch Season 8. And I guess, not to mention, the learning segments, okay, well, one of them is really stupid, but the other ones honestly aren't too bad. It doesn't feel too insulting on my intelligence or anything. Except for the Emily learning segment. That one's bad. I don't like that one. And I might as well mention the song because, well, it's also part of this, and I already said in the last video that I'm not the biggest fan of Ed Welch's songs, and this one isn't horrible, but like it's just not that great either. I guess something else I'll mention is that like if you get the DVD version specifically, even though you don't get as many episodes as you're used to, like you only get 4 episodes and a few learning segments and a song, but the DVD is loaded with bonus features. And honestly, like they're actually good bonus features. Like if you're disappointed with the episodes, the bonus features won't disappoint because there's plenty of them to keep you busy. I'll be honest, I'd rather the episodes actually be good, regardless of the amount, than a specific amount of episodes and they're all bad. Because despite the fact that Sodor Celebration has 7 episodes, most of the episodes are trash, so I don't want to watch it. Whereas with something like Thomas and the Toy Shop from last time, you got 3 good ones, 2 mediocre ones, and then 1 bad one. So, like, it's a much better viewing experience. Going into this, I thought I would give it a 5 out of 10, and I think that's what I'm gonna stick with. It's not horrible like Sodor Celebration, but then again, it's not that great either. It's fairly in the middle for me, so I think 5 out of 10 is kind of reasonable, sort of. Okay, hold on. Before you go, I would like to promote my Internet Archive account. So there are certain videos that I would want to upload to YouTube, specifically my Extras channel, but I mean, I can't do that without it getting copyright claimed or getting blocked, so how are you able to watch those videos if I can't upload it to YouTube? Well, thankfully, Internet Archive exists, and I've been re-uploading a lot of my videos so that way, you know, to archive them. And it's also how you're able to see exclusive videos that I don't upload to my channels. And also, you might notice how every few seconds I cover up the footage in these videos so that way, like, it doesn't get copyright claimed. Well, with Internet Archive, I thankfully don't have to worry about that. So you can watch this video without any footage covered, and you can watch it in the way it was intended to be seen, and hopefully you can enjoy it a lot more. So if you want to see some edits that I've been making or something, you can go on ahead to my Internet Archive page. I have left a link in the description so you can go see it. So anyway, that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss the train for the next video. And I hope you all have a great day.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.